Yamīn-ud-Dawla Abul-Qāṣim to the first pound in Moyen Mahdi ibn Sheba 1/4 Ktegin, more commonly known as Mahmud of Ghazni, also known as Mahmūd-i Zābulī, was the most prominent ruler of the Ghaznavid Empire. He conquered the eastern Iranian lands in the northwestern Indian subcontinent, modern Afghanistan and Pakistan, from 997 to his death in 1030. Mahmud turned the former provincial city of Ghazna into the wealthy capital of an extensive empire which covered most of today's Afghanistan, eastern Iran, and Pakistan. He was the first ruler to carry the title Sultan, signifying the extent of his power, though preserving the ideological link to the suzerainty of the Abbasid Caliphate. During his rule, he invaded and plundered parts of Hindustan 17 times. Early life and origins. Mahmud was born on Thursday, 10th of Muharram, 361 AH/November 2, 971 AD in the town of Ghazna in medieval Khorasan. His father, Abu Mansur Sebüktegīn, was a Turkic slave soldier of the Samanids. His mother was the daughter of a Persian aristocrat from Zabilistan. Early career. In 994, Mahmud joined his father Sebüktegīn in the capture of Khorasan from the rebel Faq in aid of the Samanid Emir, Mahmūd. During this period the Samanid state became highly unstable, with shifting internal political tides as various factions vied for control, the chief among them being Abul-Qāṣim Simjari, Faq, Abu Ali, the general Bekhtuzan as well as the neighboring Buyids and Karakhanids. Reign. Mahmud took over his father's kingdom in 998 after defeating and capturing Ismail at the Battle of Ghazni. He then set out west from Ghazni to take the Kandahar region followed by Bost, where he turned it into a militarized city. In 1001, Mahmud initiated the first of numerous invasion of northern India. On November 28, his army fought and defeated the army of Raja Jayapala of the Kabul Shahi dynasty at Peshawar. In 1002, Mahmud invaded Sistan, dethroned Khalifai, last of the Safarid emirs, and ended the Safarid dynasty. From there he decided to focus on Hindustan to the southeast, particularly the highly fertile lands of the Punjab region since southeastern Khorasan was mostly mountains, dry deserts and the fertile lands there had been poorly harvested and let to waste during the reign of the previous rulers. It should be noted that Punjab was well known for its mangoes, oranges, bananas and other tropical fruits that Khorasan lacked and instead was famous for pomegranates and watermelons. It suggests that this has been the main reason for the Ghaznavids invading India because the fruit as well as rice, sugar, wheat, and other products exported to the Middle East and Central Asia generated more income than anything else for the rulers. Mahmud's first campaign to the south was against the Ismaili Fatimid kingdom at Multan in a bid to carry political favor and recognition with the Abbasid Caliphate. He also engaged with the Fatimids elsewhere. At this point, Jayapala attempted to gain revenge for an earlier military defeat at the hands of Mahmud's father, who had controlled Ghazni in the late 980s and had cost Jayapala extensive territory. His son Anandapala succeeded him and continued the struggle to avenge his father's suicide. He assembled a powerful confederacy which faced defeat as his elephant turned back from the battle in a crucial moment, turning the tide into Mahmud's favor once more at Lahore in 1008, bringing Mahmud into control of the Hindu Shahi dominions of Upandpura. Ghaznavid campaigns in Indian subcontinent. Following the defeat of the Rajput Confederacy, after deciding to retaliate for their combined resistance, Mahmud then set out on regular expeditions against them, leaving the conquered kingdoms in the hands of Hindu vassals annexing only the Punjab region. He also vowed to raid northwestern India every year. In 1001 Mahmud of Ghazni had first invaded modern Afghanistan and Pakistan. Mahmud defeated, captured and later released Shahi ruler Jayapala who had moved his capital to Peshawar, modern Pakistan. Jayapala killed himself and was succeeded by his son Anandapala. In 1005 Mahmud of Ghazni invaded Baisha and in 1006 he invaded Multan, at which time Anandapala's army attacked him. The following year Mahmud of Ghazni attacked and crushed Sukkapala, ruler of Bhatinda. In 1013, during Mahmud's eighth expedition into eastern Afghanistan and Pakistan, the Shahi kingdom was overthrown. In 1014 Mahmud led an expedition to Thainza. The next year he unsuccessfully attacked Kashmir. In 1018, he attacked Mathura and defeated a coalition of rulers there while also killing a ruler called Chandrapala. In 1021 Mahmud supported the Kannauj king against Chandela Ganda who was defeated. That same year Shahi Trilochenapala was killed at Rab and his son Bhimapala succeeded him. Lahore, modern Pakistan, was annexed by Mahmud. Mahmud besieged Gwalior, in 1023, where he was made a payment. Mahmud attacked Somnath, in 1025, and its ruler Bhimadeva fled. The next year, he captured Somnath and marched to Kachch against Bhimadeva. That same year Mahmud also attacked the Jats of Jud. The Indian kingdoms of Nagarkot, Thainza, Kannauj, Gwalior, and Ujjain were all conquered and left in the hands of Hindu, Jain and Buddhist kings as vassal states, and he was pragmatic enough not to shirk making alliances and enlisting local peoples into his armies at all ranks. Destroying them would destroy the willpower of the Hindus attacking the empire since Mahmud never kept a permanent presence in the northwestern subcontinent. Nagarkot, Thainza, Mathura, Kannauj, Kalinjar and Somnath were all thus raided. Mahmud's army stripped the temples of their wealth and then destroyed them at Maheshwar, Wallamaki, Narankot and Walker. During the period of Mahmud invasion, the Sindhi Saranka community and other Hindus who escaped conversion fled from Sindh to escape sectarian violence. Patron of the arts and poetry, Mahmud brought whole libraries from Ray and Isfahan to Azzi. He even demanded that the Khwarezmshah court send its men of learning to Azzi. The notable poet Ferdowsi, after laboring 27 years, went to Azzi and presented the Shahnameh to Mahmud. There are various stories in medieval texts describing the lack of interest shown by Mahmud in Ferdowsi and his life's work. According to historians, Mahmud had promised Ferdowsi a dinar for every district written in the Shahnameh, but later retracted and presented him with dirhams, the equivalent at that time of only 200 dinars. Political challenges and his death. The last 4 years of Mahmud's life were spent contending with the influx of Oghuz Turkic tribes from Central Asia, the Buyid dynasty and rebellions by Seljuks. Initially the Seljuks were repulsed by Mahmud and retired to Khwarezm, but Oghra I/4 and Agra ± led them to capture Merv and Nishapur. Later they repeatedly raided and traded territory with his successors across Khorasan and Balkh and even sacked Azzi in 1037. In 1040 at the Battle of Dandanakan, they decisively defeated Mahmud's son, Mas'ud, resulting in Mas'ud abandoning most of his western territories to the Seljuks. Sultan Mahmud died on April 30, 1030. His mausoleum is located in Azzi, Afghanistan. Campaign timeline: as Emir, 994, gained the title of Saif-ud-Dawla and became governor of Khorasan under service to two of the Samanids in civil strife. 995, the Samanid rebels Vik and Abu Ali expel Mahmud from Nishapur. Mahmud and Sebüktegīn defeat Samanid rebels at Tus. As Sultan, 997, Iranian Empire, 999, Khorasan, Balkh, Herat, Merv from the Samanids. A concurrent invasion from the north by the Khurrakanids under Elik Khan ends Samanid rule. 1000, Sistan from Safarid dynasty, 1001, Gandhara Sultan Mahmud defeats Jayapala at Peshawar. Jayapala subsequently abdicates and commits suicide. 1002, Sistan imprisoned Kulif, 1004, Baisha annexed after it fails to pay its yearly tribute in 1004 CE, 1005-6, Multan Fatih Daud the Shia Ismaili ruler of Multan revolts and enlists the aid of Anandapala. Mahmud massacres the Ismailis of Multan in the course of his conquest. Anandapala is defeated at Peshawar and pursued to Sodra. Ghuram Muhammad ibn Suri then captured by Mahmud, made prisoner along with his son and taken to Azzi, where Muhammad ibn Suri died. Appoints Sawakpal to administer the region. Anandapala flees to Kashmir, takes refuge in the Lohara fort in the hills on the western border of Kashmir, 1005, defends Balkh and Khorasan against Nasrai of the Khurrakanids and recaptures Nishapur from Ismail Muntazir of the Samanids. 1005, Sawakpal rebels and is defeated. 1008, Mahmud defeats the Rajput Indian Confederacy in battle between Und and Peshawar, and captures the Shahi treasury at Kangra in Himachal Pradesh. Note: a historical narrative states in this battle, under the onslaught of the Gorkha tribe, Mahmud's army was about to retreat when Jayapala's son King Anandapala's elephant took flight and turned the tide of the battle. 1010, Gaur. Against Muhammad ibn Sur, 1010, Multan revolts. Abul Fatah Dawood imprisoned for life at Azzi. 1012–1013, sacks Thanishwar, 1012, invades Urshestan and deposes its ruler Abu Naz Muhammad. 1012, demands and receives remainder of the province of Khorasan from the Abbasid Caliph. Then demands Samarkand as well but is rebuffed. 1013, Balmat defeats Trilakanpala, 1014 Akafirstan attacked, 1015, Mahmud's army sacks Lahore, but his expedition to Kashmir fails, due to inclement weather. 1015, Khwarazm marries his sister to Abul Abbas Mamun of Khwarazm who dies in the same year in a rebellion. Moves to quell the rebellion and installs a new ruler and annexes a portion. 1017, Kannauj, Meerut, and Mudvan on the Yamuna, Mathura and various other regions along the route. While moving through Kashmir he levies troops from vassal prince for his onward march. Kannauj and Meerut submitted without battle. 1018–1020, sacks Mathura, 1021, raises Ayaz to kingship, awarding him the throne of Lahore. 1021, Kalinjar attacks Kannauj, he marches to their aid and finds the last Shahi king Trilochanpala encamped as well. No battle, the opponents leave their baggage trains and withdraw from the field. Also fails to take the fort of Lakot again. Takes Lahore on his return. Trilakanpala flees to Ajmer. First Muslim governors appointed east of the Indus River. 1023, Lahore. He fails to conquer Kalinjar in Gwalior. Trilakanpala, the grandson of Jayapala, is assassinated by his own troops. Official annexation of Punjab by Azzi. Also fails to take the Lohara fort on the western border of Kashmir for the second time. 1024, Ajmer, Nuwala, Kathiawar, this raid was his last major campaign. The concentration of wealth at Somnath was renowned, and consequently it became an attractive target for Mahmud, as it had previously deterred most invaders. The temple and citadel were sacked, and most of its defenders massacred. 1024, Somnath Mahmud sacked the temple and is reported to have personally hammered the temple's gilded lingam to pieces and the stone fragments were carted back to Azzi, where they were incorporated into the steps of the city's new Jama Masjid in 1026. He placed a new king on the throne in Gujarat as a tributary. His return detoured across the Thar Desert to avoid the armies of Ajmer and other allies on his return. 1025, marched against the Jats of the Jud Mountains who were at his army on its return from the sack of Somnath. 1027, Ray, Isfahan, Hamadan from the Buyid dynasty. 1028, 1029, Merv, Nishapur lost to Seljuk Turks. Mahmud's campaign seemed to have been motivated by both religious zeal against both the Fatimids, Shiites and non-Muslims, Buddhists, Jains and Hindus. His principal drive remained the Ismaili Shiites, by Iran as well as favor and recognition of independence from the Abbasid Caliphate. The wealth plundered from the Rajput Confederacy and his Indian campaigns went a long way towards meeting those ends. By 1027, Mahmud had accomplished this as well as capturing most of modern-day northwestern India as well as obtaining formal recognition of Azzi's sovereignty from the Abbasid Caliph, al-Qadir, as well as the honorific titles of Wali Amir al-Mu'minin and Yamīn-ud-Dawla wa Yamīn al-Millah. Attitude towards religious freedom. Mahmud, according to several contemporary accounts, considered himself a Ghazi who waged jihad on the Hindus. His plunder of Hindu temples and centers of learning is noted later in the article. Al-Biruni writes, in the interest of his successors he constructed, in order to weaken the Indian frontier, those roads on which afterwards his son Mahmud marched into India during a period of 30 years and more. God be merciful to both father and son. Mahmud utterly ruined the prosperity of the country, and performed their wonderful exploits, by which the Hindus became like atoms of dust scattered in all directions, and like a tale of old in the mouth of the people. Their scattered remains cherish, of course, the most inveterate aversion towards all Muslims. This is the reason too, why Hindu sciences have retired far away from those parts of the country conquered by us, and have fled to places which our hand cannot yet reach, to Kashmir, Benares, and other places. And there the antagonism between them and all foreigners receives more and more nourishment both from political and religious sources. Various historical sources such as Martin Ewens, E. J. Brill and Farishta have recorded the introduction of Islam to Kabul and other parts of Afghanistan to the conquests of Mahmud. The Arabs advanced through Sistan and conquered Sind early in the 8th century. Elsewhere however their incursions were no more than temporary, and it was not until the rise of the Safarid dynasty in the 9th century that the frontiers of Islam effectively reached Azi and Kabul. Even then a Hindu dynasty, the Hindu Shahis, held Gandhara and eastern borders. From the 10th century onwards, as Persian language and culture continued to spread into Afghanistan, the focus of power shifted to Azi, where a Turkish dynasty, who started by ruling the town for the Samanid dynasty of Bokhara, proceeded to create an empire in their own right. The greatest of the Ghaznavids was Mahmūd, who ruled between 998 and 1030. He expelled the Hindus from Gandhara, made no fewer than 17 raids into northwestern India. He encouraged mass conversions to Islam, in India as well as in Afghanistan. Attack on Kavaristan. Another crusade against idolatry was at length resolved on. And Mahmud led the seventh one against Nardin, the then boundary of India, or the eastern part of the Hindu Kush. Separating, as Farishta says, the countries of Hindustan and Turkestan, and remarkable for its excellent fruit. The country into which the army of Azi marched appears to have been the same as that now called Kafirstan, where the inhabitants were and still are idolaters and are named the Shia-Posh, or black-vested by the Muslims of later times. In Nardin there was a temple, which the army of Azi destroyed, and brought from thence a stone covered with certain inscriptions, which were, according to the Hindus, of great antiquity. Massacres of Ismailis. In 965 CE, Multan was conquered by Halim B. Shaban, an Ismaili Euro unregistered trademark I. Soon after, Multan was attacked by the Ghaznavids, destabilizing the Ismaili state. Mahmud invaded Multan in 1005 CE, conducting a series of campaigns during which the Ismailis of Multan were massacred. Destruction of Somnath Temple. Mahmud conquered and destroyed thousands of Hindu temples during his raids, including the famous Somnath Temple, which he destroyed in 1025 AD, killing over 50,000 people who tried to defend it. The defenders included the 90-year-old clan leader Gunarana. Mahmud had the gilded lingam broken into pieces and had them made into steps for his mosque and palace. The following extract is from a Oe Wonders of Things Created, and Marvels of Things Existing by Zakaria al-Qazwini, a 13th-century Arab geographer. It contains the description of Somnath Temple and its destruction. Somnath, celebrated city of India, situated on the shore of the sea, and washed by its waves. Among the wonders of that place was the temple in which was placed the idol called Somnath. This idol was in the middle of the temple without anything to support it from below, or to suspend it from above. It was held in the highest honor among the Hindus, and whoever beheld it floating in the air was struck with amazement, whether he was a Musalman or an infidel. The Hindus used to go on pilgrimage to it whenever there was an eclipse of the moon, and would then assemble there to the number of more than 100,000. When the Sultan Yamīn-ud-Dawla Mahmud bin Sebüktegīn went to wage religious war against India, he made great efforts to capture and destroy Somnath, in the hope that the Hindus would then become Mohammedans. As a result, thousands of Hindus were forcibly converted to Islam. He arrived there in the middle of Zil-Kar unregistered trademark Ada, 416 AH. The king looked upon the idol with wonder, and gave orders for the seizing of the spoil, and dinars. Regional attitudes towards Mahmud's memory. In Afghanistan and Pakistan, Mahmud is celebrated as a hero and a great patron of the arts, architecture, literature, and Persian revivalism, as well as a vanguard of Islam and a paragon of virtue and piety who established the standard of Islam in India. The military of Pakistan has named its short-range ballistic missile in the honor of Mahmud of Ghazni, the Ghaznavi missile. In addition to this, the Pakistan Military Academy, where cadets are trained for becoming officers of the Pakistan Army, also gives tribute to Mahmud of Ghazni by naming one of its 12 companies Ghaznavi Company. In modern Pakistan he is hailed as a conquering hero who established the standard of Islam upon heathen land, while in India he is a raiding iconoclastic invader, bent upon the loot and plunder of a peaceful Hindu population. In India, Mahmud is therefore seen as a ruthless invader who plundered the temples of India and caused long-lasting damage. His attacks on Mathura, Gandhara and Somnath are seen as decisive events in the history of North India and a sign of its subjugation to Islamic invasions. The fact that Mahmud never tried consolidating his conquests, choosing instead to target a different region and different temples on each of his invasions, is seen as evidence that he was interested in loot. Iranians remember him as an orthodox Sunni who was responsible for the revival of the Persian culture by commissioning and appointing Persians to high offices in his administration as ministers, viziers and generals. In addition, Iranians remember him for the promotion and preference of Persian language instead of Turkish and patronage of great nationalist poets and scholars such as Ferdowsi and al-Biruni, as well as his lion and sun flag, which was once a flag symbol in the imperial state of Iran. Legacy. Mahmud of Ghazni, under his reign the region broke away from the Samanid sphere of influence. While he acknowledged the Abbasids as caliph as a matter of form, he was also granted the title Sultan as recognition of his independence. By the end of his reign, the Ghaznavid Empire extended from Ray in the west to Samarkand in the northeast, and from the Caspian Sea to the Yamuna. Although his raids carried his forces across the South Asia, only a portion of Punjab and Sindh in modern-day Pakistan came under his semi-permanent rule. Kashmir, the Doab, Rajasthan and Gujarat remained under the control of the local Hindu dynasties. The booty brought back to Ghazni was enormous, and contemporary historians give descriptions of the magnificence of the capital, as well as of the conqueror's munificent support of literature. He transformed Ghazni, the first center of Persian literature, into one of the leading cities of Central Asia, patronizing scholars, establishing colleges, laying out gardens, and building mosques, palaces, and caravansaries. He patronized Ferdowsi to write the Shahnameh. And, after his expedition across the Gangetic Plains in 1017, of al-Biruni to compose his Tariq al-Hind in order to understand the Indians and their beliefs. On April 30, 1030, Sultan Mahmud died in Ghazni, at the age of 59. Sultan Mahmud had contracted malaria during his last invasion. The medical complication from malaria had caused lethal tuberculosis. During his rule, universities were founded to study various subjects such as mathematics, religion, the humanities, and medicine. Islam was the main religion of his kingdom. Persian spoken in the empire was made to the official language. The Ghaznavid Empire was ruled by his successors for 157 years. The expanding Seljuk Turkish Empire absorbed most of the Ghaznavid West. The Ohrids captured Ghazni in 1150 AD, and Mu'izz al-Din captured the last Ghaznavid stronghold at Lahore in 1187. The Ghaznavids went on to live as the Nashir Khans in their home of Ghazni until the 20th century. The Song dynasty customs inspector Tzor Rugua wrote a 2-volume work about the countries and people of the known world called the Tsufanzi. The first volume has an entry for Ghazni which reads, "The king's arms reach down to below his knees. He has an 600 chargers, every one full 6 feet high, also some dozen head of mules, 3 feet high, which, on excursions, he rides alternately with the horses. His bow pulls several pickles, so that 5 or 7 ordinary men cannot string it. When he is on horseback, he carries an iron mace weighing full 50 catties. The people of the West fear him." Friedrich Hirth, one of the translators of Tzor's work, believes this was based on some embellished tale about Mahmud that was brought to China by Arab merchants. Family. Sultan Mahmud was born on November 2, 971 AD in Azi to first Ghaznavid Sultan Sheba I Ktigin, Yusuf Sheba I Ktigin being his younger brother. He was married to a woman named Kawzarajin and had twin sons Muhammad and Masut, who succeeded him one after the other, while his grandson by Masut, Mahmud Ghaznavi was also ruler of the empire, but many of 18th century books nullify such claims. His sister Saidrimwala was married to Dawood bin Atayla Alavi, also known as Ghazi Salah Zahu, whose son was Ghazi Sayyad Salah Masut. His companion was a Turkish slave Malik Ayaz, and their relationship inspired poems and stories. See also, Islamic conquest of South Asia, footnotes. References, Ferishta, History of the Rise of Mohammedan Power, Alexander Berzin, Berzin Archives, The Historical Interaction Between the Buddhist and Islamic Cultures Before the Mongol Empire, 2001, MacLeod, John. The History of India. London, Greenwood Press. ISBN 0-313-31459-4, http, qdipk04y Mahmud of Ghazni attacked Somnath / Bosworth, see the early Ghaznavids. In Fry, R.N. The Cambridge History of Iran, Volume 4, From the Arab Invasion to the Seljuks. Cambridge, Cambridge University Press PPA 162 198. ISBN A0-521-20093-8, G.H. Shafi Ahmad Memandi. Encyclopedia Iranica January 11, 2013. http, www.iranicanline.org B19, CE, Bosworth. Maimanda. Leiden and New York, Brill ISBN A9780904161214 Fry, R.N. The Zama Nids. In Fry, R.N. The Cambridge History of Iran, Volume 4, From the Arab Invasion to the Seljuks. Cambridge, Cambridge University Press PPA 136 161. ISBN A0-521-20093-8. External links, UCLA website, Mahmud of Ghazni Columbia Encyclopedia, Mahmud Encyclopedia Britannica, Ghaznavid Dynasty Encyclopedia Britannica, Ghaznavids and Urids Encyclopedia Britannica, Mahmud Ghazni, History of Iran, Ghaznavid Dynasty, Rewriting History and Mahmud of Ghazni, 4, online copy, last accessed October 11, 2007. Elliott, Sir H. M., edited by Dowson, John. The History of India, as told by its own historians. The Mohammedan Period, Tariq Yamani, or Kitabu al-Yami of Abu Nasr Muhammad ibn Muhammad al-Jabbaru al-Utbi.